Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Soulful Saturdays with Saylor. Around here, we cut through the noise, ditch the fluff, and dive straight into what matters. Spiritual wellness, radical self-acceptance, and unapologetic soulful living. Each week, I'll bring you truth with a side of sass, reflections that wake you up, and reminders that you are glorious. So, whether you've got your journal, your coffee, or that wild, messy bun, you are exactly where you need to be. So, let me ask you something. When did wanting becoming something we had to justify? When did desire turn into a full-blown presentation with slides, bullet points, evidence, backup documentation? When did it become a defense, a debate, maybe even courtroom drama? Maybe these sound familiar. I mean, it's not that I need it. I just thought maybe if it's okay, hey, it's not a big deal. Since when did your heart need permission slips? Somewhere along the way, we learned want less, be grateful, don't rock the boat, don't be high maintenance, don't be too emotional, don't be ambitious, don't be too loud, don't be too soft. Definitely don't be too much. And here's the kicker: the world will tolerate an exhausted woman, a self sacrificing woman, a woman who holds it all together. But a woman who clearly says, this is what I want, oh, now she's a problem. So when did we do? How did we do this? What did we do? You know what we did? We edit ourselves. We soften our opinions. We shrank our dreams. We diluted our desires. We convinced ourselves we didn't really want that much anyway. Not because we didn't feel it, but because we were afraid of what it would cost us. Would they leave? Would they judge? Would they roll their eyes? Would they say, we've changed? And here's the truth: you were never too much. You were just never meant to live muted. And yet, if something inside you has been whispering, there's more. Yes, there's more to life. There's more peace, more honesty, more freedom, more intimacy, more expansion, more truth. Okay, now stay with me, because the whisper, that's not greed. That's not ego. That is not selfishness. That whisper is your compass. And this year, we're learning how to stop arguing with it. So let's name exactly what happens. Because we don't wake up one day and say, I think I'll slowly abandon myself over time. No, it is subtle, it's polite, it's socially rewarding, minimizing our needs to keep the peace. And this is what we may say: it's fine. Oh, I don't care. Whatever works. I'm good. Meanwhile, your eye is twitching because you do care. You cared when the plan changed. You cared when your time wasn't considered. You cared when your opinion wasn't asked. But we've learned something powerful and dangerous. It feels safer to swallow the want than to risk tension. So you choose peace on the outside while creating quiet resentment on the inside. And let's be honest, that's not peace. That's suppression with a smile. You become the easy one, the flexible one, the low maintenance one. And everybody claps for that woman, but no one asks her what she wants. How about fear of being too much? This is a good one. Too needy, too sensitive, too emotional, too ambitious, too driven, too expensive, too intense. Let me translate that for you. Too honest, too aware, too alive. Somewhere along the line, someone couldn't handle your depth. And instead of them stretching, you shrank. You adjusted your tone, you softened your ask, you downplayed your dream, you laughed it off. You made yourself manageable. And here's the truth bomb. You are not too much. You are just not for everyone. And that is not a flaw. That's a discernment. So what about confusing desire with selfishness? So this one runs really deep. Somewhere we equate it, wanting equals selfishness. Needing equals burden. Desire equals greedy. So you become the strong one, the capable one, the I don't need anything woman. But let me ask you something gently and directly. How can you be aligned if you are constantly abandoning yourself? How can your compass point north if you keep overriding the signal? Selfishness takes from others without regard. Self-honoring tells the truth about what's real. Those are not the same thing. Selfishness says only me. Self-honoring says me too. And there's a world of difference between those two. So if you've been minimizing, shrinking, editing, convincing yourself you're fine, you're not broken, you are conditioned. And here's the good news. Conditioning can be softened. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Here's where we soften. Not collapse, not overcorrect, not blow up our lives. We soften because desire isn't indulgent, it's information. And some of you just felt resistance when I said that. And that's a good thing. Now stay with me because desire is not a demand. It's not a tantrum. It's not the stomping your foot and saying, I better get this. It's guidance. It's your internal GPS quietly recalculating when you've gone off course. It's the voice inside that says, turn here, slow down. This matters. That doesn't. This feels off. This feels alive. And here's the problem. We've been taught to mistrust that voice. We've been taught to override it with logic, with politeness, with responsibility, but I should be grateful. Grateful is beautiful, but grateful without honesty becomes suppression. And let me say that again. Gratitude without honesty becomes suppression. You can be grateful for your life and still desire more alignment with it. And those two things are not enemies. When you feel a longing, that's not weakness, that's information. When you feel irritation, that's not being dramatic, that's information. When you feel restless, that's not being ungrateful, it's information. When you feel envy, oh, now let's talk about this one. We act like envy is dirty, but envy is just a highlighter. It highlights something that you want permission to claim. If you envy someone's freedom, that's information. If you envy someone's confidence, that's information. If you envy someone's peaceful relationship, yes, that's information. Instead of shaming the feeling, ask it, what are you showing me? If you crave quiet, it's information. If you're exhausted after certain conversations, yes, information. If you feel frustrated in a relationship, that's information. If you keep fantasizing about something different, that's information. Desire is data. It's emotional data. And here's where we've gone wrong. We treat emotional data like it's unreliable. But your body doesn't lie. Your nervous system doesn't lie. Your resentment doesn't lie. Your longing doesn't lie. It may not tell you what to do immediately, but it will absolutely tell you what's misaligned. The compass doesn't yell, it whispers. It doesn't shame you, it nudges you. And most of us, we've been overriding the whisper for years. We override it with, it's not that bad. Ooh, other people have it worse. I can handle it. It's fine. You don't get extra credit for enduring misalignment. You don't get a gold star for emotional self-abandonment. And here's the gentle truth. When you override your desire long enough, it stops whispering. It starts showing up as resentment, as burnout, as emotional numbness, a quiet anger you can't explain. That's what happens when the compass is ignored. It doesn't disappear. It just gets louder in less pleasant ways. So this is the pivot. Instead of asking, is this selfish? Is this too much? Will this upset someone? We start asking, what is this showing me? That shift alone changes everything. Because now you're not judging your desire. You're getting curious about it. And curiosity is soft. Curiosity doesn't attack, it listens. And this whole year, your compass is about relearning how to listen. Not to everyone else first, but to yourself. Desire is not here to wreck your life. It is here to align it. And alignment feels steady, not chaotic. Steady. That's the difference. So I don't say this lightly. There was a season in my life where I kept telling myself I was fine. Fine in conversations that left me drained. Fine in commitments I didn't want to keep. Fine in dynamics where I felt unseen. And I wore fine like a badge of honor. Because I was strong, I was capable, I could handle it. And technically, I could. But here's what no one talks about. Just because you can handle something doesn't mean you're meant to carry it. There were small desires that kept whispering to me. I want more honesty. I want more depth. I want more quiet. I want more room. But instead of listening, I negotiated. Well, it's not that bad. Well, maybe I'm just being too sensitive. Well, I don't want to make this a thing. Sound familiar? And slowly, and not dramatically, I started disappearing. not physically, energetically. I became agreeable. I became adaptable. I became the one who could roll with it. And on the outside, everything looked calm. But inside, I was tired. Not sleep tired, soul tired. My soul was tired because every time I swallowed a want, I was swallowing a piece of myself. And here's the part that hit me the hardest. The resentment didn't explode, it leaked. It leaked slowly. It showed up as impatience. It showed up as a subtle irritation. It showed up as distance. And then I had to ask myself something uncomfortable. Was I actually unseeing, or was I just not speaking? That question changed everything. I started honoring the small wants first. Now, I didn't flip a table. I didn't blow up my life. I started small. I started with, I actually don't want to do that tonight. I need 20 minutes to myself. I would prefer this instead. And that doesn't work for me. Tiny sentences, but every time I said one of those, I felt stronger, not louder, stronger, because I was telling the truth in real time. And something beautiful happened. The more I honored small desires, the less resentment I carried. The more I told the truth early, the less I exploded later. The more I listened to what I wanted, the steadier I felt inside. Desires didn't create chaos. Silence did. And so what I want to do is I want to address how desire leads back to alignment. Here's what I now know. Desire is not about getting everything you want. It's about knowing what's true for you. When you start allowing yourself to want, you stop expecting other people to guess. You stop quietly testing them. You stop keeping score. You become clean in your communication, and clean feels peaceful. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to put out or feel put out. You don't have to withdraw. You just say what's real. And that is maturity. That is emotional leadership. That's alignment. And alignment doesn't feel dramatic. It feels steady. It feels grounded. It feels like you're walking in your own direction again. So if you've been feeling irritated lately, if you've been feeling restless, if you've been feeling a little disconnected, before you blame everyone else, before you assume something is wrong, ask yourself gently, what have I been wanting that I haven't admitted? Because sometimes the breakthrough isn't leaving, it's listening. And that whisper you keep pushing away, it's not trying to ruin your life. It's trying to bring you back to it. Okay, so I want to slow things down for just a minute and I want us to take a breath. Whew. Yes, I want you to take a breath because this isn't about becoming demanding. It's not about reinventing your whole life overnight. It's not about walking into every room announcing your presence like a press conference. This is quieter than that. It is steadier than that. This is about what happens inside you. When you stop arguing with what you want, when you allow desire, resentment fades. Not because everything changes, but because you do. You stop betraying yourself in small, polite ways. You stop saying yes while meaning no. You stop smiling while feeling dismissed. You stop overgiving and under-receiving. And something inside you settles because your nervous system knows when you're lying. And it also knows when you're aligned. When you tell the truth, even gently, your body relaxes. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unclenches. Your tone softens. That's not weakness, that's congruency. When you allow desire, clarity grows. You stop spinning in confusion. You stop asking, why am I so irritated? Why am I so tired? Why does this feel off? Because you've named it. You said it. You've owned it. Desire becomes clarity because it draws a line, and clarity isn't loud, it's steady. It sounds like, that works for me. It sounds like, that doesn't. It sounds like, I'm available for this. I'm not available for that. There's no drama. There's no apology to her. It's just trust the truth. And here's the part I love the most. When you allow yourself to want, your compass steadies. You're not chasing approval anymore. You're not shape-shifting depending on who's in the room. You're not outsourcing your direction. You're walking north. Even if it's a small step at a time. And north doesn't feel chaotic. It feels grounded. It feels like your feet are actually under you. You're not floating through your own life. You're inhibiting it. Inhabiting it. Forgive me. My dyslexia got in there. You're inhabiting it. So let me say something gently but clearly. The strongest women I know are not the ones who need nothing. They are the ones who know exactly what they need and aren't afraid to honor it. That's power, not control. It's power. And power, when it's aligned, is calm. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to perform it. You don't have to defend it. You just live it. So if something in you has been tight, if you've been a little snappy, a little distant, a little off, it may not be that you're overwhelmed. It may be that you're unheard. And sometimes the one who hasn't been listening is you. And here's the beautiful part. You can start now. No shame. No dramatic apology to yourself. No 12-step reinvention, just a soft acknowledgement. That's what I've been wanting. The soft acknowledgement. Yeah, that is what I've been wanting. And feel what happens when you say it without judgment. That feeling, that's your compass steady. And steady is powerful. So before we rush off, and before we go back into being the strong one, the capable one, the one holds it all together, I want you to pause. This week, we're not fixing anything. We're not making big declarations. We're not confronting everyone in our contact list. We're not redesigning our lives by Tuesday. We're listening. That's it. Listening. Every single day this week, I want you to finish this sentence. What I really want right now is. And I want you to stop. No justifications, no explaining why it's reasonable, no minimizing it before it even lands. Just let it exist. Maybe it's small. I want quiet. I want help. I want honesty. I want rest. I want more. I want less. Let it be simple. Let it be honest and let it be yours. And if your brain jumps in with that's silly, that's selfish, that's unrealistic, because we know it'll happen, I want you to notice it, smile a little, and come back to that sentence. Because this isn't about whether you act on every desire, it's about rebuilding trust with yourself. It's about showing your nervous system that your voice matters. It's about setting your compass. And the compass doesn't need a speech, it just needs you to listen. So this week, let yourself want what you want. Not louder, not bigger, just truer. And watch what softens inside you when you do. Yes, because north, oh yeah, it's going to look good on you. All right, my beautiful friends, this is our episode on let yourself want what you want. Thank you for tuning in, beautiful souls. Take this week to listen to the whispers and remember your soul knows the way. And as you move through your week, carry this truth in your heart. You are worthy. You are radiant. And your presence matters. And never forget, stay soulful, stay sassy, stay you. I'm going to see you next week, beautiful soul. Same time, same vibe, same glorious energy.